Good morning, SUNY Cobleskill. My name is Shakira, and I'm a sophomore in the Animal Science BS major. And today we're here with Grace, a senior that's also in the Animal Science BS major. And today we're going to talk about what it takes to become a vet in these modern times. So to start it off, what inspired you to pursue this track?
So when I was younger, I grew up around animals. I rode horses, and then I also worked on a farm working with pigs, cows, and like chickens. And so I always had a love for animals, and I think I always knew I wanted to become a vet. It was always in the back of my mind, and so I just always pursued that career.
Do you have a favorite farm animal?
I do. I love cows,
Aw.
especially dairy cows.
Dairy cows? That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So, what type of coursework or unique skills have you had to pick up in order to set yourself apart from other people that are on the pre-vet track?
So obviously you have to academically challenge yourself when you're looking to go to vet school. You start with your intro courses, so general chemistry and biology. And then Gen Eds, and then you move up through organic chemistry, and then you take genetics classes and biochemistry, physics, a lot of hard science, but then you also need to have animal science classes to show that you can work with animals really well and that you have the skills for animal handling and animal anatomy and physiology.
Do you feel as if the coursework gets harder as you go through your years here?
It definitely does. I feel like SUNY Cobleskill really provides you with a good gradient from general science classes to going into really specific hard science, and then same thing with animal science classes. They do a really good job with just intro to animal science classes to really in-depth animal handling and science.
Okay, makes sense. So, if you had to consider all of the mental adversity that you've been through at SUNY Cobleskill, what do you think is your biggest mental adversity while studying to become a vet?
I feel like the biggest mental adversity you have to go through is just preparing yourself for hard classes and just reminding yourself that it's all going to be worth it in the end. There's definitely days where you want to give up because you're tired of studying, you don't want to do it anymore, but you just have to think in the back of your head, I can do it, I can get myself through it, it's all going to be worth it in the end.
Yes, it's really all about the confidence and the motivation that comes with it.
For sure.
And I feel like that's something a lot of people don't realize when they're pursuing this profession. But let's move on. So, what common misconceptions pertain to the vet field?
So specifically the veterinary field, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much knowledge you have to have in order to become a veterinarian. You're working with a lot of different species. It's not just human. You range from anything like large animal to small animal, and you have to know their body systems and their anatomy and physiology, and especially the human to animal interaction as well. You're working with an animal, but then you also have to convey that to the human
because the human owns the animal.
Yeah, and you need to make sure you tell them with confidence what's going on with their pet, and make sure that you're giving them the best advice.
Exactly. Okay. How important do you believe networking is in this field, and why?
I believe it's very important. In order to get into veterinary school, you have to have a lot of recommendations. You have to have academic recommendations, and you also have to have veterinary recommendations. So you have to form those relationships with like a veterinarian. You have to have a lot of like leadership skills. You have to have a lot of like hands-on learning. Networking is very important. Everyone knows everyone. So
no, most definitely. So, how did you become confident in your choice of profession? Like I know you want to be something around the large animal industry. So how did you decide that? Because I know there's so many different ways you can go at wanting to become a vet.
Yeah, so I grew up riding horses, and then when I got to SUNY Cobleskill, I decided I wanted to milk cows for a summer, and then I took the dairy techniques class up here, and that was one of the best classes I've ever took. You get so much hands-on experience, and I really love working with dairy cows and also dairy calves, and I love working with all animals, but I feel like once you get your hands on a specific animal, you really love one. So
Exactly. Okay, so What has Cobleskill done in terms of benefiting your education in the animal science BS track? I know we talked about efficiency when they choose our classes and stuff like that, but how else do you think that they help further your education?
I feel like definitely the small class sizes here are very beneficial to anyone pursuing this career. It's very easy to get lost in the crowd sometimes, and so when you're in a smaller class, especially working with the animals, the professors do a really good job with making sure everyone gets the experiences that they want, and I feel like they also have a lot of really good opportunities on campus with certain jobs at different barns and different facilities that students can pursue.
Yeah, there's a lot of like opportunities to gain experience, especially for people that haven't had the opportunity to do that like at home or something.
Yeah.
So what more do you think Cobleskill can do to better support animal science BS students?
I feel like they're doing a very good job, but everything can always be better, for sure. I feel like more engagement with their students with different veterinary schools, and then also making sure students stay on track for veterinary school. Good advisement is always necessary. And yes, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay, to wrap it all up, what is one piece of advice that you would relate to others that are pursuing the same profession as us?
I would say don't get discouraged. It's very easy to feel like you don't know anything when you're pursuing veterinary medicine. You're always learning. You're never going to know everything. And just always know that you can do it. You can do anything.
Exactly. It's all about motivation and confidence.
Yeah.
And studying hard. Okay, well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.